This story is inspired by real events. While based on true experiences, some details have been adapted or dramatized to bring the story to life. I used to laugh at the idea of manifestation, not in a cruel way, just in a tired way. I worked a normal job, paid my bills, checked my account every Friday like it might magically change. It never did. My life wasn't terrible, but it wasn't expansive either. It felt contained, predictable, like I was living inside someone else's ceiling. Every month was the same rhythm: rent, utilities, food, survive. And quietly, in the background of my mind, there was always this whisper: there has to be more. I didn't start by trying to become a millionaire. I started by trying to stop feeling small. One evening, after staring at my banking app longer than I'd like to admit, I realized something uncomfortable. I didn't actually believe wealth was available to me, not deeply. Consciously, I'd say, of course I want to be rich. But underneath that, I associated money with other people, smarter people, luckier people, connected people, not me. And that belief was subtle. It wasn't loud, it didn't scream, it just quietly kept my life the same. So I made a small decision, not dramatic, not grand. I stopped saying, I can't afford that, and I started saying, that's not aligned yet. It felt ridiculous at first, but something shifted. Instead of feeling excluded from wealth, I started feeling like I was on the path to it, and that feeling was new. One night, I tried something different. I lay in bed and imagined opening my banking app. The number was absurd, 7 figures. My heart sped up just thinking about it. I felt silly, almost embarrassed, like I was pretending, but I stayed with it. I imagined the relief first, that deep exhale, the kind you only take when a weight finally leaves your chest. Then I imagined the fear, because deep down I knew wealth changes identity. I imagined calling my parents. I imagined the silence on the phone when they realized I wasn't joking. I imagined walking into work the next day, knowing I didn't need to be there anymore. That was the most powerful part, not luxury, freedom. I felt it so clearly that for a few moments it almost seemed real. I did this visualization maybe 3 or 4 times over a week, and then something strange happened. I forgot about it. Life carried on, same job, same routine, same commute. One afternoon on my way home, I stopped at a small shop to grab something for dinner. At the counter I noticed the lottery sign. Now I wasn't someone who regularly played, occasionally sure, but that day felt neutral, no desperation, no please save me, just calm. I bought a ticket, not with hope, not with intensity, just because. And then I completely forgot about it. 2 days later I saw a headline online. Someone had won big, in my area. I remember thinking, that's wild. Then something clicked. I had bought a ticket. It was in my jacket pocket. I didn't panic. I didn't sprint home. I walked slowly. My heart started beating harder with each step. When I got home I took the ticket out, slightly crumpled. I checked the numbers once, nothing registered. I checked again, one number matched, then another, then another. By the 4th match my hands were shaking. By the 5th my throat felt dry. I checked the results 3 times, then a 4th. The numbers weren't moving, they weren't changing. I had won just over £1 million. I sat down on the edge of my bed and laughed, not hysterically, not loudly, just softly, because it didn't feel like winning. It felt like something had aligned. That night was surreal. The first emotion wasn't excitement. It was disbelief, then fear. What if I read it wrong? What if there's a mistake? What if it's not real? I barely slept. The next day, when it was officially confirmed, something shifted in me permanently. It wasn't just that I had money, it was that reality had bent. The version of me who believed that doesn't happen to people like me was gone. And here's what made my skin tingle. The amount I won was incredibly close to the number I had imagined during those nights in bed. Not exact, but close enough to make me sit very still. People ask me now if I manifested it, and I don't answer like someone trying to convince them of magic. I just say this. I stopped pushing wealth away. I stopped telling a story where I was separate from abundance. I didn't obsess, I didn't beg, I didn't visualize for months. I imagined it, I felt it, and then I let it go. When I bought that ticket, I wasn't trying to escape my life. I wasn't emotionally desperate. I had already rehearsed being free. That's the part no one talks about. Manifestation isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about identity rehearsal. When the money arrived, it didn't shock my nervous system the way I thought it would. It felt familiar. I didn't quit my job immediately. That surprises people. I waited 3 months. I didn't want to make decisions from adrenaline. Old me would have reacted impulsively. New me responded calmly. I took advice. I invested wisely. I paid off my parents' mortgage. That moment meant more than the win itself. Seeing their faces, hearing the silence before they spoke. That was everything. Here's the truth no one glamorizes. Money didn't make me instantly euphoric. It made me calmer, less contracted, less anxious. It removed the background noise of survival. And in that quiet space, I found something unexpected. Creativity. Peace. Room to breathe. The real millionaire moment wasn't the bank transfer. It wasn't the confirmation call. It was a random Tuesday afternoon months later. I was sitting in a cafe, no rush, no financial anxiety humming underneath my thoughts. And suddenly I recognized the feeling. I had felt it before, on those nights in my bed when I imagined being free. The external event was just an echo. The internal shift had happened first. If you're listening to this and thinking, that could never be me. I used to think the same thing, until I stopped thinking it. And that simple, quiet shift changed everything.